everyone, how's it going? I'm Krishna from Australia and welcome back to another episode of Tell Me More, where I interview amazing and inspirational women from all over the world. Now our guest today is an incredible woman and she is a smasher of stereotypes, especially those associated with women in STEM and the STEM industry in general. Her amazing platform and program called Code Like a Girl is giving thousands of young girls in Australia and around the world the tools, the knowledge, the confidence, and the role models that they need to enter the coding industry with confidence and leave their mark in the world. So without much further ado, I would love to welcome CEO and founder of Code Like a Girl, ALLY WATSON. Hi ALLY, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thanks Krishna. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
ALLY, let's jump right into it because I know you're very busy. So first of all, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself and how you got the inspiration to start Code Like a Girl?
Yeah, I'll do that. So I'm originally from Scotland, if you can't tell from my accent. I moved to Australia and it's almost 7 years, would you believe? Time is flying by. And I predominantly was spending my career in software engineering. So I studied computer science at university and then worked as a software engineer predominantly in web development and really loved that career. But when I moved to Australia, I really left like a lot of my friendships, a lot of my networks, family behind to start a whole new life here. And that experience was a bit of a wake-up call. It sort of reminded me how isolating a tech career can be for women. So often I was the only girl in the team, which was totally fine when you've got the remainder of your support network and you've got your own friendship circles, you've got your family. But when you was completely starting from new in Australia, this whole like being the only woman on the team just started to affect me a lot. I was finding like a lot of loneliness, finding the sort of craving to meet other women and have female friendship, and just couldn't find that through my job. And so Code Like a Girl just started basically as a sort of reason for me to meet other women who were like me, coding, programming, looking for female friendship. So it began as just this networking event that I really did expect, 5 people to turn up to, but the result was quite shocking actually. There was so many more women out there that obviously felt the same way I did, and within 2 weeks we had over 100 RSVPs to come to this small networking event for women who code. And so it sort of started from there, and then things have changed quite a lot over the years since that first event. I guess I realized what an area this was. The more I researched into why there weren't more women in computing and why there weren't women in technology, and the more passionate I got about contributing to the solution, getting more women into that industry, and the more I realized like how important that was when you think about our world and how connected we are with technology, how every company is like a technology company, and how few women were involved in the coding and the building and the creation of those solutions in that tech. And so it became like my life's mission. And so I moved on from my career as a web developer to go full throttle into starting this as a social enterprise. So that's my background.
What an incredible story. And I love that it was something that you experienced and you turned that into a social enterprise. So it stems from a real need. And I have to tell you, ALLY, that I have friends who are studying maths, who are studying engineering, and they often tell me that they are still, they are the only girl in their class, and they're surrounded by males, and often they don't even get their ideas heard, and because, they are often discredited for being a female in that industry. So I think it's so important to have that representation and to empower women to take up space in this industry. So I absolutely love what you're doing. And obviously you said that it started from a small networking event and today it's grown to a much larger sort of events and a lot of different things. So can you tell us more about what exactly does Code Like a Girl entail? What are some of the programs that you run? And what are some things that are coming up for this platform, and how can our viewers get involved with you or take part in those programs?
Yeah, so there's lots going on at Code Like a Girl. Probably the first thing to mention is our ultimate vision, our ultimate goal is really to sort of close that gender gap. So really sort of create a bit of balance so that the future is equal. As they say, the future is female and the future is equal. And so that's our mission, but how we achieve that mission, it changes a lot, and it's really evolved throughout the years with Code Like a Girl. Today, that vision is achieved through education. So we do education not just for kids, but also for adults. So if you are, a woman who is looking to upskill, to dabble in a bit of code, make her own website, you've found your home, you've found your place to do so. So we do short courses for women, so you can study with us for 10 weeks. You could learn either web development, or you could learn a sort of back-end language like Python or C#. You could get into anything like data science. So it's a bit of an alternative education pathway. I think more and more as we sort of move into coding education and tech education, big institutes like universities, colleges, they struggle to keep up with how fast the industry moves. So as a sort of nimble, tiny startup, we are very much industry first. We know what these companies are looking for in terms of talent. So we have an internship program as well. So we place women into entry-level software engineer jobs. And so it's their first step into the real world of a tech career, which we have this amazing group of partners who we work with, and we sort of get them, advocate for women. We talk about the benefits of diversity, and I think it's more and more like companies around the world know the benefits of diversity. So it's not a hard sell, but it's finding the right companies that have the support networks, the established tech team, the financial means to invest in junior talent. And so we're placing women into, directly into the employment workforce and upskilling them where there's education gaps or gaps in their knowledge. So that's predominantly what we're doing at the moment. Before COVID, we actually were pretty well known for our very creative coding camps for kids. So we run these very, one thing Code Like a Girl's good at is coding puns. And we run these coding camps during the school holidays. And we have the best fun, like coming up with these themes from music and memory to magic and mischief. So we come up with these. It's really creative. Like,
it helps kids engage better, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. The engagement from the girls, because we make it creative, we make it problem-solving focused, and we make it purposeful. So we had a whole camp around, I think the theme was called Into the Wilderness, where we taught girls about, how is coding and big data used within climate change or conservation work of animals. And suddenly, you don't make coding just about the coding, because ultimately it's just like learning a language, like any language that we learn. But when you make it purposeful and problem-solving driven, like the engagement from girls is really high, and they love it because they realize it's a tool that they can use creatively, or they can use to solve problems. And I think that's what the gap is for the education system, is they're making it too much focused on, how to write in JavaScript or how to write something in a particular language. But when you make it about problem solving, I think girls really appeal to that direction, or that.
I love that. I love that someone like myself could get involved and learn a language, but then you also make it fun and interactive for younger kids, and start making them fall in love with the idea of coding, which is sold as such a cold and boring profession to enter otherwise. So I think
yeah, I reckon it's got a bad rep. It's got a bit of a
nerdy sort of an image associated with it, and girls might think that it's not for them, or that they're not allowed to enter that industry. So I think that's
or it's not cool to like it. And when we see 18 other girls, 19 other girls around the table, all having fun, building their websites. We have like unicorn websites to Harry Potter websites, and it normalizes what it's like. Like they suddenly, at school, they're the only girl in their class that likes this sort of stuff. But at Code Like a Girl camp, it's normal. It's like what normal girls like, and they feel a sense of belonging in a world that ultimately makes them not feel that way. And so it's so important that we marry these feelings of belonging and friendship to our careers and to our aspirations in life. And I think that's what we achieve with Code Like a Girl.
On that note, Ali, I think Code Like a Girl is achieving so many different things, and I'm so happy to see that it's such an empowering image to even see a room full of young women making their own websites and feeling comfortable about it. Where do you see Code Like a Girl going in the future, and where do you see women in coding in STEM in the future? What are your aspirations?
So my aspirations are, I'm all about the impact. So I really want to see this gender gap close. And I think the only way we can do that is building accessible education pipelines that ultimately lead to opportunity. So we have the very early beginnings of that pipeline. We have internship programs with partners, and we have, beginner courses for women. But my ultimate vision is to completely see that pipeline through. So really building up beginner education, advanced education, all with the idea of this sort of placement at the end. So working backwards, not just creating education for education's sake, but looking at where the gaps are in the industry and building backwards so that a woman just starting out could take, a Code Like a Girl course. It's accessible in price, it's accessible in timetable. It doesn't require, to spend all your money on your course or to spend all your time on it. It's about gradual kind of learning and a ramp on into an industry that before now is inaccessible to women. It's been designed by and for men. And so it's really about, creating this whole new accessible education and opportunity for women. So that's my ultimate vision, and we've already began that journey this year. I think COVID has really sort of forced us into accelerating a vision that has always been there. But when you're so busy like delivering in-person events or in-person coding camps or building up the scale of that in person, you don't leave a lot of margin for investing in scalable solutions and online solutions. So this year has kind of been like, it's been a mix of sadness that we've not been able to see our community, to talk to our women, to have these big events that we're so inspired and motivated by. But then at the same time, it's allowed us the downtime, the sort of resources to work on something that's got longevity, that's got legs, that's scalable. And so it's been a really strange year. Can't tell if I'm happy or confused still.
Silver lining, and hopefully you can come up with something that's going to really be there and sustainable for the next couple of years, and you get a bit of downtime, as you said. So on that note, Ali, for those of our viewers who are watching you and are inspired by you, I would like you to share with them your mantra for success.
Oh, mantra for success. I think for me, it's always been about, thinking long term. I don't really believe in this kind of like quick startup mentality, like break things fast, like move fast. I actually kind of think the opposite, and I think that's always served us really well. Like those tiny tweaks make great changes and big changes. And I think with Code Like a Girl, everything that we build, we put heart, soul, effort, time, love into. And that's I think that's really what's made us and set us apart this whole time from a lot of organizations like us, or a lot of businesses that don't invest this much in diversity. Like we've always been entirely dedicated to this mission and given it our everything. And that's always been the mantra, like 100% everything with Code Like a Girl, like 100%. Full laser focus.
I like that. 100% everything. Yeah, I like that. Well, Ali, thank you so much for your time and for sharing with us everything about Code Like a Girl. I wish you all the success, and I can't wait to see the next generation of incredible and talented coders, if that's the right word, that you will be giving wings to. So thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Krishna. Thank you so much for having me.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was CEO and founder of Code Like a Girl, Ali Watson. Isn't her story so inspiring? In honor of Ali, I decided to wear my favorite t-shirt, which is Girls Empower Girls today, because that is exactly what she's doing through her company. If you're interested in becoming a part of Ali's program or being involved with it, I'm just going to put up the website here. This is the website that you can pay a visit to. I will also be adding all of Ali's links and social media down in the bio, so definitely pay that a visit if you're interested. That's all for today's episode. Tune in next week where I will interview another inspirational woman just like Ali, who will tell me more about what drives her and what inspires her. In the meantime, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this interview, and see you next week. Bye-bye.